Handicapper that's real sincere. I'm picking Valentine, cause on the morning line, the guy's got him figured at 5 to 9. So make it F and 10, he wins by a half, according to this here in the teller.
Hello racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forrester. We can go through a pretty special card. It's BC Cup 20, the Holiday Monday program. This will be the 20th renewal of the excellent idea of having the BC Bred showcase. We showcase the best of our BC Breds in a number of categories, and it's always one of our signature days of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the brainchild of a few of the different breeders back in 1995.
Yep.
And every year it just seems to become more of a celebration and a bigger crowd. The weather's going to be great. Excellent card on tap. One note we should mention, 12:50.
12:50, early post, yes. They're earlier than usual because we do have 10 races, so things get obviously on track a little earlier. 12:50 will be the first race at Hastings, and the first race will be one of the major races. It'll be the Nursery $50,000 stakes event for 2-year-olds. Let's go. Field of 8. 6 betting interests, as there is a 3-horse entry that'll be trained by Troy Taylor. Going 6.5 furlongs. It's the first chance for the 2-year-olds to run in a stakes event, and I landed on the 2 Forestry's Devil. I was pretty impressed with his debut run going 3.5 furlongs. He certainly didn't look like one that wanted to go 3.5. He settled in behind the speed. Yep. He was not really particularly fast, but he exploded down the lane, and I just loved that turn of foot that he showed under Richard Hamill. And this horse was running well at the end of that race. You know, the time was pretty good, and I just think he was a horse that wasn't a 3.5 furlong horse, but he's so gifted that he won anyway. Yeah. And I think this is what he wants to do, 6.5, and he's been training steadily for Craig McPherson, and Rico Walcott gets the call, and I'm going to try him to defeat the Troy Taylor trio of exclusively Bandoliero and Cedarburg, who all have, obviously they're all very talented. They all won their debut races, and all going 3.5 furlongs, but still all three hail from a top barn. I put exclusively in for second. Another son of Forest Grove, could be a Forest Grove exactor, and this one looked good, winning for maiden 2 bits, and ran a fast time, and he's been working well. Wow, look at those works he's been turning in. He's looked good exclusively in the mornings. And I put the 6-horse Stone Ridge Ruler in for third. Well, for betting purposes anyway, because the other Troy Taylor horses would be 3rd and 4th as well.
Yeah, I was going to say a little no. I'm going to have to change my numbers after because I did not take into account the entry. Yeah, the
numbers. But I put Stone Ridge Ruler in for 3rd, so Amadeo Perez a ride for Craig McPherson. Decent debut run against O'Derrick, and but it looks the best of the rest to me. But I really like Forestry's Devil. I think this horse is going to be really tough.
I went to the 6 Cedarburg, one of the Troy Taylor horses. I guess this would be 1X. It's a John Gunther bred. John Gunther has had...
He breeds some pretty nice horses, that guy.
Tremendous success as far as breeding horses. Greats like Stevie Wonderboy, First Samurai.
Last Gunfighter, most recently.
Who's running, actually running on Saturday this weekend.
In the Whitney, or one of the big, I think it's the Whitney.
Yeah, the Whitney in New York. Because of that, I went to Cedarburg. He won at first asking. He gets Mario Gutierrez. Mario would be right at the top of Troy Taylor's list of the riders that he has coming into town. I feel like Mario might have got the liver horse, so I picked Cedarburg on top. I went with another one of theirs, Bandoliero.
Bandoliero. I know it's a tough one. The only reason I know because a good friend of mine, Jose, told me that 2 L's is like a Y.
Correct
and if
pronunciation.
I just think of a Y, Bandoliero. Yep.
Out of a Solid Mare Astromatic Cat. Another one that won at first asking by 3 lengths, and he's a big horse. This horse is a giant. He's actually
his mum was fast. Astromatic Cat was a big giant mare.
They measured him actually the day he won. They were telling me he's 17.2, so he is like a prize fighter. That stretch out to 6.5 furlongs is not going to hurt him. And being that big against 2-year-olds, I could see him intimidating a few of these other horses. He gets Aaron Grider, no shame in that. And I have Forestry's Devil, the son of Backseat Becca, who's had great 2-year-olds at the races in the 3rd spot. So I guess I'll be like 1X, 1A, and 2 will be my picks. We'll get that fixed on the website. In the 1st. On to the 2nd, into the ladies, the Distaff, going 1 mile and 1/8, field of 5. And you can make a case for all 5. I ended up on Pretty Reckless. I'm going with Mario Gutierrez to win the double. A lightly raced 4-year-old filly. Just ran once as a 3-year-old and won in a very good time that day, 16 and 4. Came back, needed one start, and she's done little wrong since. A very impressive win over Lockett and Super Divine last time. The race was never in question, just made a very impressive move around the turn. She's got a nice sit and stock style. I worry that there's not going to be enough pace in here for a late closing Wando Woman, so that's why I went with Pretty Reckless. I could see Wando Woman pick up the pieces. I have her in the second spot, but I just think Pretty Reckless and Mario is going to get the jump on everybody, and I see her in the winner's circle. Wando Woman and Amadeo Perez in the second. Unlucky, made a hard charge move, unlucky to lose to Madeira Park last time, only by a neck. Got a large 84 buyer for that one. In the third spot, I put Touching Promise, another one that comes out of that same race and was only 2.5 lengths back. Another one just kind of getting her legs under her. I can see Touching Promise making some noise in here, especially with the move to Rico Walcott. 4-3-1 for me in the second.
Yeah, I've got the same three, Drew. I went to Touching Promise on top. You know, the barn is you know, obviously winless this year, but still they're running well, and half of them are hitting the board. But the barn doesn't have the strength it once had, and I think this horse will maybe get them off the schneid. Fast fractions last time, 47-2, 111.
Yeah, she was right on the.
She was rolling, and she got tired. She got beat by some nice mares, Madeira Park, Wando Woman, and Castanet Dancer. But the pace scenario was far too fast. I don't see the pace scenario being that fast. I see her getting the lead in 24. 48. I don't see Pretty Reckless chasing her. She can't chase anyone. She sat off of it last time in a non-2 to defeat Super Divine and Lockett last time. So I don't see her going out there and going crazy anyway. I see the pace scenario being quite comfortable. And if that's the case, Touching Promise it can win in it. But she is a 1 for, you know, 15 horses. She's still eligible for non-horse at 2 lifetime. But still, she's run so well in Stakes Company. It's hard to take her out of, you know, with our schedule, it's hard to jump in and out of condition races into stakes. So, but Touching Promise is live in here with Rico Walcott. Wando Woman is your horse to beat. She's a solid 9 furlong mare. 9 furlongs is another big key. This is her distance. She ran well, but was set up last time. You know, the fractions were fast. And,
yeah, she was flying down the lane because it
and the fractions prior to, you know, the time before that, Touching Promise finished quite a distance ahead of her because the fractions were slow, 48 and 113, which I think more what they will be this afternoon. And Pretty Reckless is a filly trying Stakes Company for the first time, but she's cool. She's running well for Jamie Dimitrick and Eric Taylor, and that's great. Just some, you know, Jamie's a good friend of mine. That's you know, just a nice, cool guy that, you know, always, you know, whenever he has a horse, maybe they're cheaper end horses, but it's nice that he's got a pretty nice one here and Pretty Reckless. And, you know, if Touching Promise doesn't win it, I hope Pretty Reckless does. Yeah. I went 1, 3, and 4 in the distaff onto the Dave Forster, Dad's Hall of Fame race here. Got a good little
tip of the cap to Pops.
Yeah, Pops, of course, in the Hall of Fame quite a few years ago. I'm going to go to the 3 Title Contender. An obvious.
On the ledge here.
I know. I'm just going to take a shot here on Title Contender. I don't know. I just think this.
He does look like you're single on the card. There's a couple that look like standouts.
I mean, the target race, I believe, is the Longacres Mile.
Yep.
And they chose to sprint him going into the Longacres Mile because the Longacres Mile is a 1 mile sprint. And
that's exactly
basically
right.
You have to be on your toes. So rather than running long and having a more relaxed race, the Smart Connections decide to sprint him and get him into that sprint mode and work him once and
get
run.
A race under him,
work him once more, and then he's ready for the Longacres Mile, which is coming up quite soft. You know, it looks like on, you know, reading some of the articles from Nick Russo and the Daily Racing Form, the Longacres Mile isn't coming up with a lot of tough California horses. So we'll see who does show up. But Title Contender is going to be tough. He's going to be tough in this race. So I got him to win it. Put the 4 Twist Grips in for second. He made a premature wide move last time at Emerald in the slop, and I think returning to a sprint will really help Twist Grips, and I think he'll be rolling in the lane. So Title Contender better have his game face on, or Twist Grips is going to make things pretty interesting in the stretch. And I put the newcomer Scat Daddy Baby for Robbie Bays and the Fearborns in for third. This horse is a homebred out of Bianconi Bay, who I believe she ran here at Hastings once, maybe not.
My brother actually trained her. She won the Oaks at Emerald for fun.
Okay, maybe that's where I saw her. But she was definitely in Seattle.
It was the other filly they had that they ran up here, not this one, but
I know Class Included was definitely here, but I just thought before maybe she'd, but still a very talented filly. I know is Bianconi Baby, and her foal here. Since the blinkers have been removed, that's the one thing I noticed. Since the blinkers were taken off, Scat Daddy Baby, this horse is, look at these races. I mean, look at the works. This horse has obviously had no luck getting in again. Look at check out the what is it? The July 6th one. 7 8s and 122 and 4. I mean, that's rocking and rolling. This horse obviously has a lot of ability, so I put this one in for third. This, you know, could be one. You know, it's going to have speed and going to go. So we'll see how but still running into some pretty nice horses here at Hastings, including Title Contender, Twist Grips, and even Success Rate.
Yeah. I have the same horses. Obviously, Title Contender on top.
Yeah.
He is your standout. He's the horse to beat. If he doesn't run his race, it could be up to anybody, but Title Contender is...
Yeah, he's got the best resume.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a champ to defeat in here. I couldn't decide between your other two. I ended up putting Scat Daddy Baby in the second because I was fond of the mare. She's a very nice mare, and she's thrown nice horses for Mike and Amy Fearborn. And this colt is just running off the charts right now. He's very hot. 1-4 in a row. Another hot angle here is Leslie Mawing, who's been winning everything at Emerald Downs. He comes up to ride him. One of the better jockey colonies we've had on a day.
I know, like Leslie up here to ride Lockett for the Braithwaite, or for Ernie Braithwaite in the garage, and
Rico
of course,
Walcott, Mario Gutierrez.
I know this
Aaron
goes
Grider.
on and on. We got an all-star riding colony today.
So I put Scat Daddy Baby in second and Twist Grips, as you mentioned, in third. A little wide down at Emerald. Amadeo Perez will work out a good trip for him, I think, out of the 4-hole, and he could be there too. But definitely Title Contender's horse to be 3, 7, and 4 for me. In the third, on to the fourth. The 3-year-old filly, the Dogwood, going 1 mile and a 16th. Another standout here, another horse they're going to have to beat is number 4, Arabella's Muse. Done very little wrong in her life. The only horse that's been able to get the better of her is Ole's Miss, who is a Kentucky bred, so she does not have to deal with her today. That leaves her standing alone, I believe, in this race, Arabella's Muse. In the second spot, I put Dossalina. Hard trying daughter of skimming that always seems to get a piece of it, you know. She's just kind of a dogfight type horse. Yep. And she's the speed of the speed. She's going to get the speed. And if Amadeo can slow it down a little bit, maybe he can steal it. But he is going to have Arabella's Muse breathing down her neck. And in the third spot, I went to Xenia, a maiden running out of the Barb Heads barn for R&H Stables. I love that race 2 back where she could come up and ran a big second from back off the pace. And last time she was on the pace, and I don't think that's her game, and I don't think she's going to have to do that today. I think she's going to be able to relax under Aaron Grider, make one run, and I think she'll be heard from late. I got 4, 2, 6.
I think you're right. I think those would be the instructions. She's coming from out of it, Xenia.
She will not,
be part of the pace,
yes.
Like she was last time on that wet fast track. But you know, that was just, she was sharp off a month layoff.
I like the move to Aaron Grider too.
Yeah, no, that certainly won't hurt.
Yeah.
I agree. The 4 Arabella's Muse, her only losses have been to Ole's Miss. Ole's Miss, of course, came back to win in Seattle a couple weeks back, and but Arabella's Muse is your horse. She'll need to slip up. She'll need to slip up. But without, if she does slip up, then this race is wide open. I know it's got a bunch of maidens in it and non-winners of one other thans in it, but this is an interesting race. But Arabella's Muse is definitely head and shoulders the best horse. Dossalina is your second best horse, unproven at the distance, and that's the only negative. If this race was 6.5, Dossalina would make things interesting, I think, with Arabella's Muse.
Yeah, absolutely.
But going 1 mile and a 16th, I think Frank's just going to breathe on her and put her away, and Dossalina may have trouble hanging on for any of it, but we'll see. But gets Amadeo Perez, and that's a good thing. And I put the 3 Irish Lyric in the mix. I was pretty impressed. I know it was just a 16,000 maiden or winner's race for 3-year-old fillies. I just like the time, 1:45 and change. This horse seemed to adapt well to 1 mile and a 16th. And Rico Walcott certainly won't hurt her chances either. But I agree with Xenia being in the mix. I think this horse has got a shot when taken back a bit early and make one run. When she produces one run, she'll be better. I know she's a maid. We're talking about 3rd or 4th positions here.
I think there will be a pace, and that's why I put her in the 3rd spot.
That's right. She can pick off Dossalina and Habita and a lot of these horses that may be up early, but we'll see. But I went 4, 3, and 2 in the 4th. On to the 5th race, the BC Cup Classic. A little early in the card just because of the smaller field size. They're going 1 mile and an 1/8, and I'm going to land on Wayne Oliver, Rob Fioravento, and the Cowboys and Indian Stables. Wilo Cat, the 2-horse. Amadeo Perez is lured from the 4-horse. Go for Guinness, who seems to be the other live one in here. I think Wilo Cat is your horse at 9 furlongs, and he's, of course, winless this year, but he's been running against the toughest older horse colony we've had here in years. Mr. Bowling resurfaced, title contender, Taylor's Deal come out of the woodwork.
There's some rock stars,
you know,
in there,
there's some nice older horses here in Vancouver, and Wilo Cat seems to always have to box with them, and it's just, you know, he's hitting the fringes but not winning, but I think he finally gets to stay. Wilo Cat for me. Over the 4, Go for Guinness, who's an awesome horse.
I know the bartenders will be hoping that Wilo Cat wins.
Oh, no, jeez, they'll be open till 10 o'clock. Maybe longer, but and they'll be going for Guinness. Go for Guinness, good runner-up, or nice win last time in an allowance event, but they're obviously a tougher assignment for him. He's stayed out of stakes company so far this year. but still a horse that has done well in the past for Hall of Famer Dave Forster. And gets Rico Walcott to ride. There's lots to like about Go for Guinness. He has more pace to him than Wildcat, so he will have first run. We'll see if he's good enough to do it. And I put the Gov in there for third, and he's a cool horse. Runs good races.
Yep.
Senor Rojo beat him last time, but he had to go a tough trip. Got Clane, moves to the Troy Taylor barn, and we'll see how the Gov goes with Mario Gutierrez in the irons. I went 2, 4, and 5.
I have the same horses. I'll just touch briefly. Wayne Oliver's Wildcat looks to be the horse, as you mentioned. Been battling against the rock stars here. Gets in a softer spot. He's your horse to beat. He does need a bit of pace, though. Go for Guinness. The best race of Go for Guinness's career was last year on BC Cup Day when he absolutely destroyed a field of 3-year-olds. If he brings,
he freaked that
day. If he shows up like that on BC Cup Day again, if he just shows up for BC Cup Day, he's going to be hard to handle with Rico Walcott in the irons. And the Gov, I love the fact that Mario's on him. Mario is very deadly on the speed. He can really get a horse off the bit and to relax. And if he does that, the Gov is going to be the one they're chasing down the lane. I got 2, 4, 5, same horses as you. Wildcat, Go for Guinness, and the Gov in the Redda Cup Classic. On the 6 to 2-year-old fillies, the Debutante. I think it's another standout here. Her race to lose, Quatre Cat, for Stuart Carmichael and David Sylvia Gregory. An absolute kind of a debauchery of a first race. Got pushed out wide, was just everywhere. Put in a half-mile drive and just kept running and ran away from him. An absolutely, one of the more impressive 2-year-old debuts you'll see around here for a 2-year-old filly I've seen here in some time. Quatre Cat is your horse to beat. That is one that I would single on this card. The second spot I put Finale's Charmer out of the Craig McPherson barn. Went the nursery course, won by a couple lengths under Richard Hamill. Gets Rico Walcott, who's in for the day, and beat a few of the other ones in here. I think that's the second best. And Biscuit, who did get beat by Finale's Charmer, came back, wired a field, going 6 furlongs, so she does have a 2-turn race in her. Yeah. I like that, and Dino's having a very good year for Swift Thoroughbreds. I got her in the third spot. I got 6, 3, and 2, but for me, it's all Quatre Cat.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have a lot to add. Quatre Cat's your horse. That was an impressive debut run. She ran to her works, and she had nice throws going in, and she ran to the hype and ran well, despite some, as you mentioned, some negative things happened to her during the race, and she still fought on and ran well. She's come back to work well, so obviously she came out of the race in fine order, so she's got to be tough. She'll need to move backwards for some of these other ones to win. Yeah. I put Finale's Charmer in for second. The filly's been working well for Craig, and it was a nice 3.5 furlong win. She goes on Lasix for the first time, gets Rico. She looks like the next best to me. She did beat Biscuit by a mile in their first, when the time they met, which is the only reason I kind of went that way over Biscuit. But Biscuit does have a win going 6 furlongs, so there's some, some fuel there if you like Biscuit to be in the second spot. But those look to be your 3 horses. The only other one I put in maybe is the 4 Saintly Sinner. Amadeo Perez rides for Barb Heads. This horse did run a decent third against Maiden 25 Open Company. Gets in against BC Breds. That's a little easier, but I think the 6.5 will help Saintly Sinner, so maybe keep an eye on that one. But Quatre Cat's your horse. I went 6, 3, and 2. I agree with Drew. On to the 7th race, Maiden 5 Grander, going to get into the the lesser lights, but they try hard. They're not as gifted as some of the horses running early on the card, but
there's a full
they'll put on a great show.
Bet on some money.
They put on a good show. I went to the 4 Diaz Soban, to the Tracy McCarthy barn. Blinkers off. I think that'll be the key. This horse ran off last time.
Kinda
fast fractions. Blinker change, I'm hoping, is going to be what gets her in the circle. She'd been running against tougher company. She drops her 5, as does my second selection, the 5 Miss Rose Parade. She's dropping as well, but defeated Diaz Saban. But I'm hoping that the blinker change will make things a little more interesting. So I went 4, 5, and I put the 3 Be Remarkable in for third. I didn't love anyone for third, but I went 4, 5, and 3.
I agree with you, Mike. Diaz Saban, I like the blinker move. Miss Road Parade. Most Rose Parade. Miss Rose Parade. Those are the 2. You toss a coin between them. Those are your 2 horses in here. I put Cape Away out of the Craig McPherson barn. He's going well. Roseanne Troxy rides for Craig. 41 buyer last time, a second to Jag Time Tune. Don't mind that. Put him in for third. I got 4, 5, and 10 in the 7th. On to the 8th, the Stellar's J for 3-year-olds. Going a mile on a 16th. And if this was a BC bred race or not, your favorite would be Coffee Grinder. Just makes it maybe a little bit easier that he doesn't have to face any Americans coming up to try and take the money. Coffee Grinder, another absolute standout on the day. I'd say a single. Nobody's come close to him this year, and I don't see that changing today. In the second spot, I put Slice of Red. Huge race to beat Aspen Getaway. A colt that's improving. The only one blemish on his form was that race in Emerald, which was a bit of it was a tough race for him. He was wide and.
Yeah, the 9-hole killed him.
Yeah, it just
short run to the turn.
Wasn't really his day. I tossed that one out. He's got a very impressive record. He gets Amadeo Perez. I like Slicer Red in the second spot. And in the third spot, I went to Robbie Anderson's other horse, Off the Top, who ran second behind Coffee Grinder last time. I don't see much of that changing. I think Slicer Red's got a little bit of an edge over Off the Top. I went 6, 1, and 3.
Yeah, I have the same 3. It's hard to go against Coffee. Oh, you can't go against Coffee Grinder.
The only other horse I would have thrown in for the Superfecta, I don't mind Carson City Brown.
Yeah, I don't mind Richter Red. That would be my 4, Richter Red. But we're Coffee Grinder is your key. He's the most likely winner on the entire day. He's the best bet.
Him and Arabelle's Muse are probably your 2 standouts.
Coffee Grinder is a nice horse. He's finally got to run long last time, and he didn't disappoint. He's a big lanky colt that looks like a mile and 16th was going to be his gig. He's just so talented. He won going 6.5 furlongs anyway. And I think we saw the best of him.
Yeah.
Wow, he just accelerates. He's got gears to soar. This is a nice horse. And he's out of a nice Stephanotis mare by Grindstone, a former Kentucky Derby. There's a lot of pedigree here to run on, and he's a definite BC Derby candidate, and he's definitely a BC Cup Stellar's J lock, I think. And Coffee Grinder's your horse. I put Slicer Red in for second. As you mentioned, he's had a good season. He did lose to Coffee Grinder in his first start this year, but still, he's a nice colt. He's getting better too, so Coffee Grinder better still have his A game to beat Slicer Red and Off the Top, who are both nice horses out of the Robbie Anderson barn. We trains for the Linwoods, which is the Gumfrich family, who've been in the business for a long time. Of course, they did campaign Sophie J, and both of these horses come from that line of Sophie J.
Yeah.
Off the Top is out of Sophie J, and Slicer Red is out of Regal Red, who is Regal Red was out of Sophie J as well. So
and Sophie
the line,
J
of course,
will be honored.
Yes, at a Hall of Fame race for Sophie J on this program as well. So hopefully can be a real good afternoon for them. But Coffee Grinder is going to be tough. I went 6, 1, and 3 in the Stellar's J. On to the 9th race, got an 8,000 starter race. This is the BC Cup Marathon.
The marathon.
Mile and 3/8. They'll start in front of the grandstand at about the 6 furlong start and hit the line 3 times. I ended up on the 6-horse Ganbei. He did run last weekend. He needed to get eligible for this race because he'd never run for 8,000. He was a decent third behind Hockley and Tamarack Smarty. And if the race didn't exhaust him too much, then I think he's going to be dangerous at this trip. Aaron Greider will ride for Mel Snow. Put the 9 Mark in for second. This horse was a runner-up to Bear Rock and Roll. I think that's a pretty salty little race, the Bear Rock and Roll race. Actually, his last 2 since coming back from Golden Gate. Mark's been pretty solid. He's going to be dangerous in this race, as is the 10 Super Steve. I got him in for third. I went 6, 9, and 10. I think all 3 of them are going to be big trouble in here.
Yeah, I went with Super Steve. There's only 2 horses in this race who won the distance, and he's done it twice. He can run the distance. He's a top horse in this category. He gets Amadeo Perez. Amadeo knows him well. I like Super Steve a lot. I put Mark, as you mentioned, big second behind Bear Rock and Roll, a win before that for 8. Mark, nice late running style for a race like this. I like Mark in the second spot. And then third spot, I went to the 7 Gypsy Magic with Mario Gutierrez. He ran a big race in this race last year, I should say. And I just feel that Mario Gutierrez in the irons will get him to relax, get him off the bit, and make a nice late closing move, and he could get up for third. I went 10, 9, and 7 in the BC Marathon. On to the nightcap, the 10th, 4,000, non-winners of 3 for fillies and mares, and I've landed on the 8, Honey Skila. I felt like there's 2 horses in here that are very dangerous, Honey Skila and Princess Zaida. I ended up going with Honey Skila. She just got her non-2 last time, but she did it impressively. Amadeo Perez sticks with her. Honey Skila on top. Princess Ada runs for the cheapest she's ever run in her life. This is a mare that was running the stakes and allowance races all over her life. Tried 16,000 twice this year. Ran third, come back with a 5th. They drop her down to a 4 on 3, which fits her like a glove. Jeffrey Birmingham takes over. She's going to be a handful in here. And in third spot, I went on the edge out of the Steve Henson barn, out of the 10 hole with Keyshawn Bell-Gobin in the irons. Gonna probably try and take him all the way. It could kind of hurt her being on the outside, but she just won her non-2. Looked good doing it. I got her in the third spot. I got 8, 9, 10. Nice, easy one to remember.
Yeah. I like your top 2. I went Princess Zeta on top. They're interchangeable, though. They're both live in here. I think Princess Zeta on the big class drop. Couldn't handle Dream Baby and Cataly and CA. Man, those are considerably better
salty
horses.
bunch,
And she was, you know, she didn't run her A race at all. She runs that first race out this year behind Hidden Harbor and Curie's Cow. I mean, that's a race good enough to beat these mares, and it's where she should be. Obviously, she's had a hiccup in her, you know, she had a year off between 213 and 214.
It's not an exact science.
No, so let's get her in the winner's circle. Put the 8 Honey Skeel in for second. Nice win last time. Going along, she got to shorten back up to 6.5, but still a filly that fits well here, and she's beaten these kind of horses before. And I put the 2 horse, That's the Spirit, in for third. This horse can win if it avoids a pace tool, but I think, you know, the 1 horse, the Kula Kid's going to go, and there might be 1 or 2 other ones, but That's the Spirit. This horse has been running against better company also, and this horse is live. I think you need all 3 of them. I went 9-8-2, but I can go 2-8-9 or 8-2-9. You know, they're all interchangeable, but 9-8-2 for me in the Monday finale. Well, that'll do it for our analysis of the very good BC Cup program. And next up on screen will be a quick recap. Here comes all them bingo balls up there. Got 10 of them, 10 races. Back in race number 1, I went to the 2, Forestry's Devil. 2, 1, and 6. Race number 2, I went to the 1, 3, and 4. I like Touching Promise to win it, but Wonder Women is your live horse there, likely favorite. Number 3 is title contender, or third race, pardon me, the 3 title contender. I went 3, 4, and 7. Race number 4, the 4, Arabella's Muse over the 3 Irish Lyric and the 2 Docilina. Race number 5, the Classic. I went to the 2 Wildcat out to defeat the 4 Go for Guinness and the 5 the Gov. Race number 6, the 2-year-old fillies. I went to the 6 Quatre Cat 6-3-2. Race number 7, I went to the 4, Diaz Soban, 4, 5, and 3. Race number 8, this is the Stellar's J. I went to the 6 horse, Coffee Grander, as everyone will. 6, 1, and 3 in the Stellar's J. In the 9th, I went to the 6 Genbei over the 9 Mark, and the 10 Super Steve, 6, 9, 10 for me in the BC Cup Marathon. In the 10th and final, I went to the 9 Princess Zeta, 9, 8, and 2 on to Drew.
There we go. There's my picks in the first, the 2-year-old race. I went to the 6 Cedarburg over the 2 Bandoliero and the 3 Forestry's Devil. In the second, I went to the 4 Pretty Reckless over the 3 Wonder Woman and the 1 Touching Promise. In the third, I agree with Mike on title contender number 3 over the 7 Scat Daddy Baby and number 4 Twist Grips. In the fourth, I agree with Mike again on number 4 Arabella's Muse over the 2 Docilina and the 6 Xenia. In the fifth, I went to the 2 Wildcat over the 4 Go for Guinness and the 5 the Gov. In the sixth, number 6 Quatre Cat over the 3 Finality's Charmer and 2 Biscuit. In the seventh, I went to the 4 DS Chivon over the 5 and the 10. In the eighth, I went to the 6 Coffee Grinder over 1 Slice of Red and number 3 Off the Top. In the ninth, I went to number 10 Super Steve over the 9 Mark and the 7 Gypsy Magic. And in the nightcap, the 10th, I went to the 8 Honey Skila over the 9 and the 10.
Well, that'll do it for the special BC edition of Handicapper's Corner. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. It should be a great afternoon. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's lots of things going on at the track.
Live music. The March Hare will be playing by the paddock there.
Yeah, there's lots going on. It's always a great day out at Hastings. You got the family fun zone. You got the music out by the paddock. You got 10 great races. Once again, starting at 12:50. But if there's, for some reason, you can't make it out,
Derby Barn Grill
get down here to the Derby Barn Grill. There'll be lots going on as well. On behalf of Drew.
Wait. As always, I'm going to mention this at the end of all of our shows. You can pick our selections
at the beer stands.
At the beer stands on the apron. I'm sure we'll be printing up a few extra for that day as we're expecting a big crowd.
Yes, it'll be basically they're nice sheets with 2-for-1 Derby entree coupon in it, and the
overnight, so you can see all the horses and the trainers.
It's nice for the people that need a little hand to just come down there and drink beer, and the younger crowd. Nice to get a little bit of information in their hands. Maybe get them betting a few dollars, and that's what this program was designed for. And hopefully it works out and get them betting a few bucks on a great 10 race card. Like, it's going to be a great afternoon. Once again, first race at 12:50. On behalf of Drew, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time here on Handicapper's Corner.
He wins by a half, according to this here in the telegram.